Turn up the volume. Share my screen. Okay. And there's a cursor. Okay. You want to start, Daryl? All right. Is that the inside shot from Little Shop of Horrors? Feed me. It is. I like the stripes.
It's, but it's green, yellow.
Mhm.
Just shot down at it, straight down with a 100, 400. Oh, actually,
Mhm.
stopped down maximum f-stop, probably at 40. And it was shot right at sunset, so it's just, it's on. We had very soft light coming from the west, and my house is white, so it's reflecting off the
So
other
yeah,
side.
big bounce carry.
And it's down on the ground, and I'm shooting straight down at it, so it had really soft light.
Yeah, shadows are nice and soft.
And it's probably a 30-second exposure.
Oh my God.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, at that f-stop at that time of night.
Right.
Or like
Yeah.
30 seconds. I don't know, I can look and tell you exactly what it is.
It's just what I find interesting are the leaves appear curved.
Yeah, they're like spoons.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I've just never seen a cactus do that before.
With all those spiky edges that look like. Yeah.
Don't want to tangle with that.
Yes, sir, Mr. Agavi. Sure.
Good shot there.
I got one more that Sandy was helping me with from the same
Is this it? Down here?
animal, yes. And I originally shot that at f42, but it had, I forget what the name of it is when they get all those little white balls behind it. It's
Oh, the bokeh.
Yeah.
What do you call
Bokeh?
it? Bokeh, yes, it had, it was just, it sucked. So, or at least I thought it was very detracting. So what I did is I shot it wide open and focused. I took, I don't know, 18, 20 shots, whatever it was, one on every tip. And then photo stacked it and gave me the blurry background I was looking for. And every layer is just tack sharp. It's, F64 or ISO 64.
Okay.
And that was the other one too, was ISO 64.
Mhm.
And that's why, again, it was a 30-second exposure.
Yeah.
These weren't nearly as long. These are probably an eighth of a second because I'm doing them one at a time and I'm wide open.
Yeah.
But I love the detail that's there and the differentiation on the whites in the plants and the tips. And good, anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Probably your sweet spot on your lens is about 2 stops down from open. Yeah, you might want to try that next time,
Okay.
but it looks like you're pretty good anyway. Excellent.
The light is awesome on
Yeah.
And it was, again, what I did is we've got a wall about as high as the desk, maybe another foot. And I just set it up there
Oh,
right at sunset,
uh-huh.
so it's backlit. And behind it is a tree on the other side of the golf course, and I was using that tree as my background. It was really nicely lit, more with a tree.
Yeah.
So, but when I did it with fully stopped down, and you get that, I forget what it is.
Yeah, the focus. Well, yeah, you probably got sharp all the way back to infinity at that point. Yeah, this has a real nice dappled background on it. Excellent. Let's see what we got next year.
Close up on a cactus flower and the interior of it. I liked it because you don't necessarily know what the flower is, but yet it gives the, when you put the top in there, the Christmas lights, green
Yeah, it's almost like a festive holiday.
and I'm probably gonna check this out in black and white. I haven't played with it much, but I think that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
I tend to visualize stuff in black and white.
Hmm. Oh,
That's nice.
Wow.
And that's Highway 395, just south of Mono Lake, just north of.
I shot that same house.
Yeah.
I know exactly. It's on the right side as you're going
Yes,
south. I know
exactly.
exactly where it is.
Just north of Mammoth.
Yeah.
south of Mono Lake.
That's funny, except I was
And
there.
now that other, the smaller one in the background doesn't exist, only the foreground house exists. The other
Oh.
one's completely gone. That was shot in 2014.
Yeah, I probably did it about 2017 or 18. And there was a washing machine out there too somewhere. Oh, yeah, yeah, there's all kinds of accidents.
Could you, Sandy, the mountains, that one's right dead center, could that be toned down at this?
Yeah, I don't know if you've got any.
I haven't done anything with it and
Hmm.
I'm sure, I don't even know if I shot it with raw.
Yeah,
Around 14.
Right?
yeah.
Probably shot it in JPEG back then.
Well, it's
honestly.
JPEG now. Let's see if we can do anything with it.
What's the file number?
395. Oh, no, it says Highway 395 JPEG. Yeah,
Okay.
so, yeah,
I'll search for it.
yeah, he retitled it. Okay. Yeah, we'll update later. There's some new things going on with beta, if you guys have Photoshop, that mostly generative fill
I
things.
got some notice about.
Yeah, yeah. That's right. Good to check out if you get time. Okay, let's grab some camera roll and see what happens here. So I'm just gonna see if it'll do anything. Oh, yeah, you can probably pull it down quite a bit. So if you just take the highlights down all the way, maybe
Shadows.
bring up the whites just a little bit. Yeah, it looks like the shadows are crunching a little. It's yeah. Somewhere in there, it's still down on the other thing. Is you can lock this curve down a bit. Yeah, it's affecting too much of the image. So what I would do is instead of doing that, we can do a couple things here. With the local masking, you can go into range here and do a luminance range. And you can find your blackest black. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, right there. We'll turn that on. Okay. And then I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Something like that. And then we can take our black up just a hair. There, doesn't take much. Yeah, like +1 will do it, which isn't going to affect much. Now you can do this again with your highlights. You can hit create and do another luminance range and pick your whitest white. And do the same thing, just go the opposite way. Now, in this case, there's two things we can do. We can either intersect it with a brush and just paint it where we want, or we can just remove. You know what we don't want. So if you hit subtract with the brush, you know, you can go in there and just leave these areas alone. You know, let's see how it affects these areas and we'll decide if we want to paint it out or not. So we'll go down here to highlight again. Yeah, it's getting a little dirty. See, I think you probably don't want it on this. Maybe somewhere around here, you want to bring it up just a little bit, kind of bring your eye that way. Maybe a little bit here.
Yeah, I didn't play around with it very much as far as any burning or dodging.
Yeah.
You know,
So,
Right.
Yeah. yeah, so if it was raw, you'd probably pull even more out of there, but yeah, that's pretty acceptable, I think. I'm seeing that on this doorway and stuff as well. Let's see here, we all the way up, yeah. Maybe some of this. There we go. Okay, I'm just gonna cancel out. and pull
Have you
this out.
been into Convict Lake on that highway also? That's just about 20 miles north of Bishop.
No, we did go through all those lakes up there when the leaves were turning. And it was really pretty.
That's one spot you should go in.
Yeah, okay,
It's,
Convict Lake, I'll,
Definitely very.
yeah. Try to remember that one. Good. Yeah, I saw this. Yeah, let's zoom in here, yeah. Or Mr. Froggy.
That's the original.
Yeah.
Unedited.
And that's,
And I did it in a really tight crop, like there,
yeah,
and I thought it was a little contrasty, and actually in Linda's class, we went and we decided to make it a square.
yeah,
And, but my biggest
Whoops.
question
yeah,
was resolution when you're cropping it that tight.
yeah, I guess it just,
You had a square even tighter than that.
yeah, I guess it would just depend on,
I brought it up to about where the frog, about what you saw in the other one, but square.
oh, okay.
There,
So
it
really-
made more than.
So really
There you
tight,
go.
yeah, something like that, okay.
That basically is what it's all about. The rest of the information that's in that photograph is kind of boring.
Yeah. And then work on it from there,
So what is my final size there?
right? Not much, but you probably made it smaller to give to me anyway, right?
I don't know.
You don't know, okay.
I thought I sent you the original, oh, that says tip.
Let's see. Oh, I see, it is a tip. Well, let's start with auto and see where that takes us, and then we can kind of play around with it a little bit and save us coming back here again.
Anyway, that was a unique photograph.
Mhm.
I've seen lots of fish, but never a frog that's almost as big as its head.
Yeah. All right, let's open it that way.
So. the other
Uh,
thing I wanted to ask
Yeah,
you
it's small. It's like 976 by 854.
Is, I haven't used Photoshop. I'm still debating. I'm on the edge, because. But I saw you do this with an owl. How do you make that eye pop? You highlighted just the yellow and made.
Oh, if we go back into camera raw. Or you could let's do it the old fashioned way for camera raw. Had localized masking. Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, they've got these, they have these new adjust brushes, actually. Let's see if they, yeah, here's one. This takes the old way and kind of gives it to you already. You can pick, like curves or any of these and make them into a brush. Basically, all it does is add a layer, so you just need to paint the area you want. And then, see, it's already set up taking the curve a little bit in the midway, but you know, I would probably bring some of the black down, something like that. Um, so the old way would have been to make the curve, you know, reverse the mask and just paint it in where you want it. With this new adjust brush, it already makes the curve layer if you pick it up here, you know, when you make the adjust brush, which is kind of neat. Now I haven't played with this much. Let's see if we change it to exposure, if it'll make a new layer. Yeah, it does. How about that? Very cool. Yeah, so I'm exaggerating so I can see where it is, but yeah, you could do all kinds of stuff with this. So that's kind of fun. So yeah. Yeah, so if you just wanted to bring him up a little bit, not that much. Yeah. So I guess once you have this open, you can keep doing it as much as you want. Yeah.
I think there's one big bullfrog.
Thing it is, he's only standing in water. It's no deeper probably than this cup.
Really?
Yeah.
So the frog was out at that edge, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he's out in the middle of the lake, but
Yeah.
you saw that, if you go back to the original
Well,
photo,
that's, yeah.
but that's all deeper that was right there.
Yeah.
Huh.
So anyway, if it's too bright like this is, if you go on this layer, all you have to do is adjust the opacity. You don't have to mess with the curve.
Oh, there you go, nice.
Interesting.
So it's very similar to
Right.
what you have available with the selective masking and camera raw. It's just another way to skin a cat. There's probably 6 or 7 ways to do things in Photoshop, any given problem you want to fix. Okay.
I think that's it.
Well, no, I think we had more. Let's see here. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're right. Okay, thank you. Dave,
Okay.
yeah, let me close this.
Hey folks, so this week I have a lot of Indian themes. Yeah, over the years, I've photographed these cigar store Indians
Yeah,
in various places, and I just pulled them together, found some of them. Thought I'd create something out of it. This first one is in Long Beach, Washington. A beach town, so it's very weathered by the sunshine and the salt air and all that. So I added some interest with some architectural molding on the sides to frame it up. And I ran it through the cartoon filter, I believe.
oh, okay,
I've been using watercolor, but I think this one is cartoon. And it brings in some colors and enhances it a bit.
Mhm.
So I'm not really saying anything about these Indian statues. They're just everywhere, you know, they're interesting. So I'm just presenting it as.
I wonder
as
how
it
many
is.
of them are left now that everything's so politically correct.
Yeah, I know. That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I don't want to say anything.
yeah.
These exist in the world. They should not be removed.
No,
And
Yeah.
they're interesting.
maybe
And
in some kind of museum. I don't know if the indigenous people want to include it in their folklore or not, you know, they're probably not. So maybe somewhere else, but yeah, they were pretty prominent in the 50s, I remember.
you know, Sandy, on that point, I will say that I shot a cigar store Indian in Tombstone. But on the window, it said guns. And I didn't think that was gonna go over well, guns, right?
Yeah,
So I didn't include that one.
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't wanna say.
no, that,
I'm
it's
just
pretty
respecting,
derogatory.
it's just the design, it's an art,
Yeah.
look, you guys, it's pop art to me.
Right,
Okay?
Yeah.
It's pop art,
right.
that's what I
Yeah,
do, I do
yeah.
pop art.
And whoever carved this put a lot of work into it,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's a very detailed.
yeah. And the nice thing about them was the way they weathered and cracked and, yeah,
cracked and weathered.
yeah, the grain got rough.
Okay, here's a kind of experimental piece. This chieftain was an old, bar sign. It was the Chieftain Bar up in Tacoma, Washington. And I flipped it and rotated it, and then I added something in the middle to kind of activate the image. It's kind of almost an antagonistic, crazy design, so in pop art.
Yeah.
And so this is the same image flipped out back and forth. I had to adjust the writing. I had to redo the writing on the sign. And the interior, the squiggles is Victorian threads off of a piece of clothing in a nearby museum.
Oh, wow. I probably would have flipped this so they both read the same way
Yeah,
correctly.
I think I might have had it, but then Sandy, you know how I've been doing these flip
You
flops.
like the
I
flops,
just
yeah,
flopped it.
yeah,
I like it the other way. I like it the way he's got it. I
yeah,
really do.
yeah,
Yeah,
It almost, it's like, okay, the Indian culture, it's almost like his language, it
Yeah.
has a foreign language, and then you see it.
it's definitely more graphic, especially if you didn't identify it as a
Very
word.
two-faced.
And
and you know what, folks, I'll tell you, when
There's
I'm,
a Seinfeld episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, right,
when I'm creating these composites, when I had the Indian facing itself, it totally meant something different, something else.
yeah,
So there is connotation in the way you arrange your graphic.
oh, right, most definitely, yeah.
And back on pop art, folks, I'm only interested in design and fun, really.
Yep,
Well, I like it because the first structure and the second also go together because of what you put on the outside of the first image kind of ties in with what's on the middle of the second image.
Yes,
Yeah.
So as a cohesive show, it works that way.
it works, yeah, it works well as a body of work, which is always important.
and the sign itself is so cool. It was
It's,
rusting and decaying
Yeah.
out in the streets. of
Yeah,
Tacoma.
see, would this one tie in? Probably not,
No.
no,
So,
but these two look like they go together,
Yeah,
all right. Yeah, so are we done with this one?
yeah.
Okay, let's move to this one then.
This one I call wooden features. I combined the carving with some other architectural design work that I saw somewhere. It's very colorful.
Mhm.
Of course, I combined the red. I'm looking at color,
Yeah,
the red and the turquoise. These are totally unrelated in totally different places. And I just combined this. Now I'm running this, I believe, watercolor through a watercolor filter to enhance it.
yeah, I mean, bit of a reach, but it almost looks like he's like this.
Yeah.
And those are his arms and hands.
hello?
Yeah,
And the designs in the architecture create this sort of mind-boggling geometry. Folding it out, folding it in.
Mhm.
And then the face is like pressed up almost against the window. See that, how the nose is.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And those Christmas lights were on that
Oh,
building?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
yeah. And the carving's a little more primitive on this one.
Mhm. Here is a carving that was in tombstone in the shooting, again, the guns, right?
Mm.
It was in a shooting gallery. And it's two different shots. and approaching this idea, I knew that I wanted the two sculptures on the outer edges. So the challenge was the interior design in between.
Oh, yeah, you carry that through nicely.
And all that was the paint on the wall.
Ah,
And I was trying to create something interesting and I couldn't get it combined in an interesting way. So I started making stripes and putting them in the background, and it wasn't working. And lo and behold, my wife, like you guys know, my wife is on the computer. She flip-flopped top to bottom the stripes, putting the blue on the top and the red on the bottom, and I thought it just worked great.
yeah.
It almost looks like an Indian design.
You remember those pictures that you get in the newspaper and find what's different about these two images?
Yeah, oh, sure.
That's what reminds me of,
What's
okay, so you've got the two little stripes at the bottom on the left corner, but there's only one on the right corner. And then
Yeah,
you go through but in the red at the top, there's a little
What's
L
the
on the
difference?
left, and on the right, it's, a little bit lower, and you got all these little tiny
teeny,
things that
teeny,
just
yeah.
make you look through.
You
the
look
whole-
through it.
Well,
Exactly. I
yeah.
love it.
And going on that theme, the white line along the top
Uh-huh.
is solid, in a sense solid. You've got it all broken up
Right,
on the
and
bottom.
Kim, that happened.
And there's a little bit of it here, but not here.
I think this one is cartoon also. Also, Kim, it broke up the line, almost like they're feathers from a pillow fight or something. You know, the feathers are fluttering around in the air.
Now, did you paint this in
That was,
or it just lined up that?
it. That was the paint on the wall in the shooting gallery in Tombstone. I just cut it all up.
Yeah, it just looks
Flat.
like someone spray painted it.
Yeah, it
through
does.
here. Yeah, and then it carries through, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, I totally recreated the interior based on the paint on the wall.
Yeah, very
And then I
cool.
ran it through watercolor and I
Oh.
pulled up some color.
Nice.
Interesting.
To me, it's just too easy.
This one
Can't find.
is a Hopi Indian design. This is a stained glass window in a bank in Scottsdale.
Hmm.
My goodness.
And what I've done here is I have convex and concave surfaces. The center panel you can see from outside in the street. And when I saw that, I said, that must be a neat stained glass window. So we parked the car and we went into the bank, and Sandy, I just walked in the bank shooting. I didn't ask anybody, bang, 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 you know.
Been there, done that.
And the reason it's concave and convex is it's in a stairwell. So that's what it looks like on the two outer panels with the sunshine coming through. And then on the outside, that's what it looks like.
Very
So I
cool.
combined these three.
Nice.
Lots of cutting, lots of cropping,
I'll bet.
and then it's rendered, I believe, in maybe watercolor or cartoon, I can't remember.
Well, you keep coming up with some great stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, guys, my artwork's kind of becoming, Sandy, kitsch pop art.
Yeah.
If that's okay, is that okay? You know, you guys
You
are
bet it's
such-
sure.
all you guys are such good photographers, you know, and I'm kind of just on the fringe with the art stuff, you know? So,
Yeah, where's trying to see if I can find who else is in here. Oh, there. Nope, I'm still the only participant. Oh, well, I guess we'll hold off Don and you know what? I'll bet they think it's at the normal time.
Oh.
Yeah, that must be what
that's
happened.
it is.
Yeah, all right, I'll keep their stuff for next time.
they think it's 1 o'clock.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so
Flower mode. My roses are just beautiful. My roses, I've got 3 rose bushes and they've just been going crazy. So
Not bad.
I've been taking pictures of roses. This was yellow, but it was almost too much color. And you couldn't see the helical pattern because of all the color. I thought, boy, I like this, but something's just off.
Mhm.
So I took it into topaz and I don't know if I just had black and white, yeah. One of the black and white filters, presets. And then just brought it down a little bit to, so it's almost a sepia tone.
Mhm.
But it made it pop, it made it click
Mhm.
as far as following things around in it.
I remember seeing this online and I liked the way it was cropped because it was in a group of photos. I think it
Oh,
was
yeah.
like something like that.
Cause I sent you the same picture that was in Facebook,
Yeah, I think it was similar to that,
but I didn't,
or
maybe
maybe,
that's just the way Facebook cropped it, 'cause I didn't, it's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
right.
it did one of those group things
Oh,
and it kept this horizontal and put the other ones under it. And I thought,
That's
well, that's
right.
kind of a neat crop.
Yeah, now that you mentioned that.
Yeah, so you might want to play around with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty yellow rose, but just much
Nice.
more interesting in this tone.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the Ocotillo, we went hiking up in Tucson a week or 2 ago, and
Mhm.
it's kind of hard to get their flowers, their buds, because usually they're so high up and far away. So this is cropped in quite, well, zoomed in and then cropped in quite a bit.
Mhm.
And then used the preset filter for topaz on this was called Safari Afternoon, which really softened the background down.
Uh-huh.
And then brought up the buds itself. But and as I put in a post, I said, it's not candy corn. It looks like candy corn.
Yeah.
It does.
It really does.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what caught my eye once I pulled it up and started working on it. It's like, oh, it's just, the orange and the yellows just kind of. So I cropped it in to get rid of some of the branch in the lower right, and also took something out down there. But I wanted to have it just carry through from bottom right up to upper left.
Mhm. Yeah, I like the way it offsets from the background as well. Nice.
Back to my roses. And this is a chalk pastel preset
Pretty.
in topaz.
Mhm.
And then just did a really, really light vignette around it,
Just to bring it in.
just to bring it in some, yeah.
Very soft and warm.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And just zooming right in on the petals. Just catching almost like wave patterns.
Mhm.
And again, I don't know if I did a topaz filter on this. Just played, took it into Photoshop and just played with in Camera Raw with the curves a bit to bring out the contrast and everything a bit more. But I just wanted the focus on the petals and just right in there, not seeing the whole flower. And then I like the shadow that's been caught in that one petal.
Mhm.
And it's like a wave also as it curves.
There's a lot of things going on. When I was looking at the icon, it almost looked like a praying mantis.
Oh.
And then you've got this shadow that almost looks like a hand reaching in there.
Yeah.
Or a bird's head with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't try that in black and white too.
Mhm.
Okay.
Go high key with, and try, just,
Sure.
I think that would make a really pretty image and,
Hmm. Yeah, maybe. Let's see here. Or is there black and white?
do they have a high key preset?
Oh, Probably not, but at least this will kind of get us close. Not doing much here. And then, you know, on top of that, you can just throw a curves layer and get as high key as you want, and maybe even close over,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
You're talking about all your shapes and things that are going on, and
Uh-huh.
that's the one thing that black and white does, is it really emphasizes the
Right,
structure of the image.
Yeah, that could be fun.
that's fun, yeah, definitely.
Okay,
One big pixel.
let's get to that.
I took this about 4 years ago as we were traveling across country. Again, just took it into topaz, played with the detail and contrast a bit, just to bring it up, and then softened, brought it, I think it was a shallow depth of field anyway, but then softened the background down just a little bit more.
Mhm. All right, how do you guys feel about this element?
Photoshop,
Yeah, yeah, just get some general, and maybe darken it here, or
Bring it down a little bit.
yeah, or just get rid of it,
Uh-huh.
whatever you want to do, but yeah, I just keep looking at this,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, this was a spur of the moment one I fiddled with, so.
Mhm. Yep. But, all right, well, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay, Paula, let's see what you got.
I don't know when I took half these photos. But this guy, I like the colors in the background, he was just climbing, so I brought it in and brought up the colors a little bit.
Mhm.
It's a long tail.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is that a chair he's climbing on, or you remember?
I don't, I think it was some kind of light shade or something.
Okay.
But, I don't remember.
The good thing it's not a chameleon, he would know how to change his color.
yeah, really.
I like that.
This was a piece of drywall that was just, that was just standing there. And there was some metallic thing in the background, so I took that out, put the black in down the middle. On the back.
That's neat.
I see a dog or.
Wolf on
We all saw that.
That's what I tried to.
You gave me an idea.
You saw that when you were shooting at that
Yeah.
wolf head?
Yeah.
That's neat.
There's a really neat saguaro skeleton in the arid desert park,
Your
Oh,
garden.
your garden.
the arid garden rather.
Oh.
Yeah, and I shot it. I think it's just too busy behind it. And so I think I'm gonna knock it down to black. That works really nice. Thanks for the idea.
Yeah, that garden area is small and everything is really
Oh, it's
busy.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's blooming now. It's
Originally this blue sky behind the garage.
yeah. That's what I tried doing, and then I got a little bit of. I moved around and got a little bit of Palo Verde behind it, and it's just still too busy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I just noticed Al walked in.
Yeah.
Al, you had a rhinoceros or something like that with the black background that you showed in this class about a year ago. Remember that?
I've done that, so.
Yeah, the rich black background. I remember that picture you showed.
Yeah.
Now this one is like 20 years old. Taken underneath, looking through the tank, and they just happened to swim by, and lucky enough I got it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just fiddling with it in Photoshop and came along and trying to bring out various details.
Yeah.
Where's that again?
Oh, SeaWorld in Florida,
SeaWorld.
20 years ago.
Yeah. Maybe gradiate this down a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of darken this up a little bit, probably help it out. And play around a little bit.
It was really kind of green.
Yeah. We'll go back into camera on. Well, before we do anything, let's just see if balancing between the highlights and the whites, and sometimes I like to see what a little clarity does.
Well, that's, I think, the battery DAs.
Yeah, maybe DA, just a touch. Yeah, there you go.
That helps.
And I don't know if you want to just sharpen it up overall. But you know what? Let's leave the sharpening alone, and we'll go to a. Let's see if it picks the subjects. Well, not bad, not bad. So let's get a brush and add a little more to them. Quick. And go down. Oh, there it is. All right. Yeah, that might work out. So then while we're here, what we can do is just do a linear gradient and maybe just a little on the wall. I would maybe take a little of it off the that overhang. So we can take a brush and we can take the flow down a bit. Did I do add? Should have done subtract. Sorry about that. Yeah, bring that back. Okay. And then maybe add one more with a brush. Just kind of come across here. Take auto mask off if you just want to catch the area. And also it might flow back up. Kind of just hit that. And maybe just a little bit like that.
Go back in and
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Much richer.
Yeah. Alrighty. That's cute.
This
Oh, yes.
family does,
Mhm.
and I think this is taking it forward.
Wow, okay.
I cropped it down a little bit, took him a little, was, in Photoshop, and that was a little bit, that's fine.
Yeah, the texture's nice. Those geese are ducks.
Those are geese.
Yeah,
Geese.
they look like Canadian geese, yeah. I'm wondering if,
That's
maybe,
what I was just gonna ask.
I thought of it.
yeah, maybe crop. Yeah, I think that would help it out a lot. Maybe even a little more up the top. Yeah.
They're pretty birds, but they're obnoxious.
They are. And aggressive.
And aggressive.
Yeah, nice. The water textures are wonderful.
This, I think, was Myrtle Beach.
I was just gonna ask if that was, it looked like an area.
Probably 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I put outlook, or the paint effect on it.
You might want to try at some point is just do that selectively
Okay,
you know, like maybe take some of it out of the sky and then, and just leave it in where you want to accentuate things, yeah. You know, just a thought. Just to kind of mix it up a little bit and try something different. Yeah, I guess that's all. Okay, thanks. Let's see, we got mine and, oh, Wendell had to go to the dentist, all right. I'm just kind of into the cars and motors.
That's neat.
This was down in Cuba, geez, probably about 20 years ago, and I just punched up the colors, but it was pretty rich as it was.
That's neat.
I just saw the bike parked next to the wall. It's kind of like he painted everything at once. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
What filter is that?
None, I just brought up the saturations a lot. Yeah, and clarity quite a bit.
That's neat.
Yeah, so it's kind of fun. This is some
Wow.
messing around in Topaz and kind of a car theme today.
That's great.
Yeah, I do kind of a series of these kind of posters or whatever.
So that's a
That's
topaz,
really good, Sandy.
that's a topaz preset, a topaz filter.
Yeah, and then I stacked them with a few other things like this edging texture thing I brought in, kind of used that
Is
as.
that car in Cuba also? Cuba?
No, this was actually in a museum that's closed now, near San Antonio. Yeah, guy had a nice little collection there. But I hadn't seen one before with the gold instead of chrome. I don't know if that was something he customized later or you could order it that way back in the day. I don't know. But I remember as a kid, we had a 59 Caddy. It was like being in a fishbowl. It had the huge windshield and the big back window. It's pretty amazing.
Sandy, did you put a frame? Oh, this one too. You
Yeah,
put
I used,
frames on the outer edges.
basically it's a texture in Topaz Studio 2 that you can kind of, you know, add on as a layer, you know. And then you
These look
do,
like pastels or drawings. They're
Yeah, I was-
fantastic.
Yeah.
thanks, yeah, I was kind of going for that effect. I think I went, yeah, somewhere yeah, this one was a little deeper.
Well, that's interesting, I like that.
Yeah, this was just out in the middle of farmers fields somewhere down on this
Really rich.
And rust.
south coast, yeah. And then this was the side, but yeah, going back to these, this was another place. They were auctioning off a bunch of old junkers, mostly trucks. Up north of Trinidad, Colorado. We were going up to see my daughter up that way. Just happened to see an auction sign and went over and it was all these old trucks. It's kind of fun. I just kind of did another style on those. And then this was over Canoa Ranch. They had like a Studebaker thing there some years back. It's just a iPhone shot. I just happened to be over there walking around and happened upon it.
And you got it looking like it's underwater or something.
Yeah, or flying. Yeah. Yeah. And this was, I don't know if it's still there. It was on Sixth Avenue and I don't remember, 6th Street or 6th Avenue, the one that goes east-west in Tucson. Yeah, it was just an old building and I just kind of magic hour shot it and then punched it up a bit. So that's what I got today. Yeah. Any of you guys working in Neo, Luminar Neo? No, okay. So you just came up with a new update too. It's got a little time. You want to see it or any interest? Yeah. All right. Also Topaz Photo AI, they've updated that one too and changed the interface on it totally. See if I can find a photograph to use. With my neighbor issue this morning, I kind of got discombobulated and ran out of the house without everything I needed, but I guess we can maybe Find something here, yours, yeah, find something kind of neutral. Yeah, let's play with that one. See what happens. Ah, there it is. They changed the logo too. Yeah. But you still got all the presets. You can get crazy with those, but if up here is edit, you got, it also has a catalog. If you don't own Photoshop and Lightroom, then you just want to have one piece of software. It's got a limited catalog. It doesn't have keywords, or it's not as robust as Lightroom for sure, but the edit's kind of nice. So what they added, I should probably just find a landscape photo, but they've added a new landscape section, and rather than just sky replacement, now they have a twilight enhancer and atmosphere. Atmosphere and landscape were in there before, but they've made atmosphere AI, and now they have a water enhancement as well. So it's kind of fun. But the other thing they've done, which is kind of neat, let's here just go into develop module, and maybe I just want to push the contrast and layer out exposure and highlights and shadows. In their masking, they've added luminosity masking, which is kind of nice. And they also have object selection now too. So it's getting a little more. So if you just click on the image and then just like in Camera Raw or Luminar, mask is red though. Unfortunately, it's not working well on this image. Yeah, so you could just have it affecting that area, and then now you can see where it is. Yeah, so basically you can do selective adjustments on this as well, like we were doing in Camera Raw. So they've added that. Let's see if we can find another photograph and see what we can do with object selection or something like that. Well, that one's pretty well already done. Guess we could look at done and let's take a quick peek here. Yeah, let's try that one. So we go back to edits here. Maybe in the develop module. We go to object selection. Yeah, that's kind of its little setup, but yeah, not too bad. You can get part of an image, like if we just wanted to do the seat here. And adjust that, we could work that way. So you can get pretty specific with that. And then the other thing with these tools, if you close it and reopen it again, it gives you a whole new one. So it has another area here where it gives you the stack. So if you look in here, that's the earlier one. So that's just for the seat. If we work on this one and do something, maybe you just want to go overall. We just want to make it real contrasty. And then we close that. If you go in the other stack, see now there's two of them. It's kind of like doing layers, but a little differently. It's doing layers by tool. They've added a sharpening and a noiseless in the last iteration. Their vignette's pretty nice. You can if you go in the advanced option, it's kind of nice because you can change the roundness and then you can really feather it out. And kind of make it dark. And then it has this inner light, which is kind of neat, so that you can bring back some light if you want. So that's kind of fun. And then if you ever want to see anything, well, that's the reset, that's the information on it, and this eyeball is what just that tool's doing. You also have an eyeball down here, which is all the tools we use combined for before and after. But if you just want to see what that specific tool's doing, you can look at it that way. So we can close that up, and then this structure AI I like a lot too, because it seems to work a little nicer than clarity. It doesn't get as aggressive sometimes. And usually I like to do that at 100% so I can see what I'm doing. So kind of give you a before and after, and then back out. And kind of look at it overall. And again, all these different tools have masking, so you can mask with a brush or gradient or object selection now. So real similar to Photoshop and Studio 2, except you don't get the painterly effects, but the masking and so forth. So that's just kind of a basic overall review of it. Okay, I guess that's about it. Anybody got anything they need help with, or?
And I noticed your theme this week was different. Have you gotten through all of your edits on Japan?
Heck no.
Well, you have thousands of.
Yeah, I'm culling down, now I'm back to just looking for things that, the first pass you look for the really neat stuff and then kind of go back and look for the little surprises. So I'm doing that now. And we just booked a camper van in Turkey for September and October. So we're going for 2 months in the fall. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, so.
Are you flying right in or a cruise?
No, we're gonna fly. We're gonna fly from here to Istanbul and then,
Interesting.
yeah, pick it up there and go.
You have good food there too.
Yeah. All right, let me stop sharing and stop recording.